Yes, people, them grand rising, and welcome back to the Arsenal Transfer Centre, the show that keeps you locked in with all Arsenal transfers surrounding the summer transfer window, winter transfer window, and all transfer windows beyond that. People, we are still on our way to 500 subscribers, so if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscriber button, make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you leave a comment down below of this video. I actually need to get back into my comments today because I have not been in there for a couple of days. I'll be making sure I am replying to all comments today. But people, I am not going to keep you for any longer than you need to. I have a couple of things to say to you, then we can move on. I expect some big announcements today because I thought they were coming yesterday, so I'm going to make some corrections on that on my part. But people, Nwaneri is set to sign his new contract at Arsenal. This was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein yesterday. This was actually first reported by Steve K almost 2 months ago. And if you check on my channel, there is a video saying that they will stay, and it was totaling 5 players: Nwaneri, Saliba, Saka, Gabriel, Miles Lewis-Skelly. And out of those 5, 2 have officially signed in Gabriel and Miles Lewis-Skelly. The next one up is Nwaneri. Now, there was talk a couple of weeks ago, or was it a week ago or so, that potentially Nwaneri was upset with the amount of game time he got last season, and apparently there was game time discussions in the contract talks before he signed it. I can confirm that there were no game time discussions. As I said, this came from Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein. Arsenal in the final stages for new Nwaneri contracts. 18-year-old prioritized Arsenal. He wanted to stay at Arsenal. He wants to stay at his boyhood club. He wants to succeed here at the Emirates, at the carpet. No game time demands during that, and he's set for a more central role. So even though someone like myself, we see him on the right wing, you've seen him on the right wing, and he's brilliant on the right wing, it seems that he potentially is going to be a backup for that of Martin Odegaard. I'm going to talk about another attacking midfielder soon, actually. But like I said, this was first reported by Steve K 2 months ago. So I've given you this information 2 months ago. That's 3 out of the 5 contracts that Arsenal need to secure this summer. After that, it's just 2 more, and it's the 2 S's, Saka and Saliba. And those are going to be big bumper contracts. Moving on to the next thing. Now, let's talk about Fabio Vieira very quickly, because obviously there's a lot of incomings coming in at Arsenal. We need to get some outgoings. Now, Fabio Vieira is attracting a lot of interest from European clubs and Premier League clubs alike. But for most of the players that Arsenal want to sell, especially for the likes of Fabio Vieira and the fact that we spent about £34 million on him, Arsenal don't want to sell him for anything less than 20 to 25 million. Whether Arsenal are going to get that is up to them, but with Berta at the helm now, controlling transfers, whether it's outgoings, incomings, contracts, everything else, I believe we can strike a deal with any club for that. I felt most of the players that we need to sell, bar a Zinchenko, maybe a Nelson, can be sold for a minimum of 20 million plus. We need to operate like that, because I see Liverpool selling players for like 40 million plus that hardly get games, and this, that, and the other. If Arsenal want to be a big club, that's the next thing we need to do. Making sure that these outgoings are going for premium price or as high a price as possible, in my opinion. Now, Xavi Simons. A report was said this morning from Sport Bild that Xavi Simons or RB Leipzig want to sell Xavi Simons for a minimum between 60 million and 70 million euros. However, it was also said that he could be sold for as little as 50 million euros. So that's around 45 million pounds as an attacking midfielder, and as someone that can potentially play on the right as well. Now, we know that Arsenal are also looking at Eze for a central role, for an 8 role as well. But should Arsenal be looking to sign Xavi Simons as well, the fee could be potentially small, and I feel like the way that Burr is working right now, really getting these transfer fees down, something that we could look at in case other things don't work out, like the Eze deal. Should Arsenal be in for Xavi Simons? We have been linked to Xavi Simons in the past as well, so this could be one to look out for. Absolutely. Now, talking about Eze, as I said, and as we've been saying on the transfer center, the Eze deal is going to be structured if a deal is going to be sealed. because Arsenal, they cannot pay the 68 million up front to stay in line with PSR, ESR, that's Emma Smith Rowe, but you know what I mean, FPP and all of that, bloody, bloody, blah. So they will structure the 68 million release clause in between three payments, whether it's like this amount up front, these much of installments or add-ons or this, that, and the other, incentives, bloody, bloody, blah. But it's all good stuff at the end of the day. And the Eze pursuit is hotting up. As I said on yesterday's transfer show, Reece Nelson could also be used as a make way for that transfer. So we're going to keep our eyes on this one. Now, people, I didn't want to talk about this necessarily, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Liverpool, they didn't make a formal bid, but they said to Newcastle, we are interested in Alexander Isak, and they could potentially pay up to 120 million if they get this deal done. This information was dropped by Fabrizio Romano and Ornstein yesterday. Let me take a breath, because I thought Alexander Isak was Mikel Arteta and Arsenal's dream target. That's what I thought at some point. So a lot of Arsenal fans thought at some point, and it was heavily reported that Isak was the dream target of Arsenal. My question is, why have we not even tried? I'm happy that we're set to be signing Gyökeres and this, that, and the other, bloody, bloody, blah. But if you've been following me on the transfer centre, especially in the beginning when I started this show, Isak was top of the list. Then it was Gyökeres. Then it was Sesko. And I was surprised that we didn't even try go for our dream. Why did we not try even once just to inquire? Like a Liverpool and say, no formal bid. What is the situation? And this, that, and the other. Who knows what's happened behind the scenes? Maybe we have, and that's what we got told. But maybe Arsenal don't want to be embarrassed because maybe they can't pay the money. But then I have a question. I have a question, people. You let me know if this is too far-fetched. Because apparently, from what I understand, unless I'm wrong, the Eze and Rodrigo deals could be separate. So let's say we sign a Eze for like 68 million, however we pay it. And then we've still got 80 million, 77 million left over from that Rodrigo deal that apparently that we want to do as well. What if we held on to that 77 million? I know this is far-fetched dreaming, but I'm trying to work something out. What if we held on to that 77 million? You sell a Nelson for about 20 million. You sell a Vieira for about 20 million. You sell a Trossard for about 20, 30 million. That's what, 50, 60, 70 million. Added on to the 8, that's 150 million. I love Rodrigo. But if you're telling me that we can hold on to that Rodrigo money, get some outgoings gone, and maybe get Isak for the left wing with Gyökeres up front and Saka on the right, come on, people. Are you telling me that's not something we would like? But then again, I don't know if these deals are separate or not. But if they are separate, and you got a one pot for Eze and a separate pot for Rodrigo, hold on to Rodrigo's pot, in my opinion, get these outgoings gone, and then say Newcastle, boom, 140 million. That's me, in my opinion. Because anyhow Liverpool signed Isak, we are finished. We are finished. But anyway, I'm going to talk about Trossard very quickly. A report came out yesterday from the Bleach Report that Trossard is ready to leave Arsenal. That is not necessarily dependent on if they can offer him a new contract, but he is ready to leave Arsenal. We know that Trossard has already attracted interest from Saudi Arabia and Bayern Munich, especially now. Bayern Munich had a bid of £63 million around that, rejected yesterday for Luis Diaz, who plays on the left wing for Liverpool as well. They had that bid rejected. They may look to Martinelli, they may look to a Trossard as well if that deal falls through. But Diaz seems to be their number one target, and Liverpool want around 70 million plus for that of a Luis Diaz. And if they want around 70 million plus and they don't want to pay that, they could look to a Trossard. But we'll see what happens on that front. Now, yesterday, I said that Mosquera was having his medical yesterday. I got that wrong. I absolutely got that wrong. He was only flying into London yesterday. His medical has been booked for today. Get that medical done. And we'll be having a Madueke announcement today, not tomorrow. There was filming his announcement yesterday. Now they're going to announce it today. So that is just a correction on my part. And last but not least, Victor Gyökeres. All we are waiting for is the here we go. Now, there was talk yesterday that the deal could potentially collapse on this little final details, but it was reported by Chris Wheatley, Dario Sport, and a number very various other reporters that this deal is effectively done. But this deal's been effectively done for the last few days. So we will see, because something has to give. We need a striker on that plane for Saturday. We need a striker on that plane for the tour to Hong Kong. We need a striker on the plane. Gyökeres needs to be on that plane. So let's get done what we need to get done. Gyökeres is giving up a lump sum of money. His agent's giving up a lump sum of money. Arsenal, what you willing to do? Pay the extra to get the deal over the line, just a little bit extra, and secure it. And absolutely secure it, and let's get this done. But yes, people, that is it today for the Arsenal Transfer Centre. Please let me know of all your thoughts in the comments below. As I said at the beginning of this video, I actually need to check my comments and get back into my comments and make sure I am on that. So I will be in my comments today having conversations with people. Absolutely, people. As I said, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We have a new subscriber target, which is 500 subscribers, and make sure you smash a like on the video as well, because that helps me greatly too. People, let me know what you think of everything I've spoken about in this transfer center today, and we will be back tomorrow. However, if there's any breaking news breaking today, you know we'll be on it. Love and guidance, people. Peace.